Hello and welcome to this rendition of the Flagger Corner. Today I have an interview with a very interesting man. He is William D. Sherrill. He has much going on for him right now. He has a rock band, Slaughtered Hypocrisy. He also is starring in the show Rock the Lamppost.
Helen, you've got to be one of the most selfish pricks I know on this planet. I mean, boo-hoo, my father just died, so I can't have sex with you right now. Get over yourself.
Also, William D. Sherrill recently has been courting his now ex-girlfriend, Natalie Portman. Here is a very edited version of the interview I did with Will.
TKW, it basically was a band that I had created in middle school with two friends. And the name stood for True Knowledge Within, which was total bullshit. The actual name stood for, my name, as everyone knows, is Will Sherrill. The other two guys, one was named Tom, the other was named Kyle. So True Knowledge Within actually really stood for Tom, Kyle, and Will. Because I'm clever like that, you know. And the best thing I could come up with to hide the fact that that's what the name really meant was True Knowledge Within. It's like my lame ass answer for what SWAT means, other than the actual thing, which I can't even ever remember, which is sometimes willing, always thankful. I started acting in 8th grade. Yeah. You're probably going to ask this later, but what got me into acting was actually, it's one of the lamest stories you'll ever probably hear, ever. Basically what had happened was, I was watching the movie The Patriot, and already I see your face, and basically I saw The Patriot, and for some reason, that was the movie of Mel Gibson's, of all his movies, you know, Lethal Weapon, Braveheart. It was The Patriot where I was like, he's a good actor. I should do that. So I got into it like that. That was in 6th grade. In 8th grade, I was told about this place, Live Theater Workshop in my town. I was told about it by one of the school counselors or something like that, because some other kids had taken classes there. So so I checked it out and I liked it, and I pretty much stuck with it. You know, I never not did a term until I couldn't do a term, if you know what I mean. Well, boys and girls, if you don't know what Storytime with William D. Sherrill is, you haven't been on YouTube or online for the past 3 years. It's basically, longer than that. It's basically a show that I started after I graduated from high school. It's a kid's story, as you will, and basically, the premise of it is it's set up like a kid's story, but then very perverted and very not a kids show. Like there'll be words of the day, because like I was watching, I think it was Pee Wee's Big Adventure, you know that movie. I was watching Pee Wee's Playground, yeah, and I remember he used to have words of the day, you know, and like if they said the word of the day in the episode, like let's just say it was like playful or something, all of a sudden like horns would be going off, and like he'd be like, word of the day, playful, and stuff like that. That was a horrible. Oh God, the film I made in high school. Are you talking about Shaolin Drag? Yeah, in high school, me and a couple of buds we were taking a film class with our theater teacher, who, you know, decided, hey, if any of you guys are interested in film, which, you know, all of us were, well, not all of us, but, you know, majority of us, he said, we can do a film class. And so we said, hell yeah, let's do it. And we probably did say hell yeah and fuck yeah and shit. Hell yeah. That kind of stuff, because, you know, he was that kind of teacher where you could get away with that kind of shit. And then, so we took the class, and, you know, it was me, my friend R&R, my friend Tiffany. We had decided that what we were going to make was a movie about drag queens. The thing about it was they were not normal drag queens. They were, at night, they were drag queen strippers. By day, they were superheroes. And basically the premise was, you know, some evil being, you know, human, heterosexual male who was actually in the closet. He had decided that he was going to put an end to drag queens because they were unlawful, and so he hatched this evil plan to just get rid of all of them. And basically what ended up happening was, well, you know, we never actually finished writing the story, and the class actually ended before we even got one reel down, but we did get some pictures of us dressed as drag queens, so yeah, those are probably circling the internet somewhere. Puck You is the longest running band I've ever been in. It was started pretty much the day I started playing. Me and my brother, we, you know, he got a guitar for Christmas, and then I got a keyboard. But then my grandpa, he had an old classical guitar that he didn't play anymore, and he gave that to us so that, you know, we both could be playing guitar. And so, you know, it was around Christmas, and I ended up also getting a tape recorder and a bunch of tapes, and, you know, we just like went into our room and you know, turned on the tape recorder and just started hitting whatever. You know, I didn't really even make any good sound really, and then just was like yelling into it, you know, like singing words that rhymed basically. And we did this for probably a couple hours, and then we ended it. I remember my brother, he picked up the tape and he started writing on it, and I was like, what are you writing? And like, he's like, you'll see. Back then we actually had voices that were more like, what are you writing? But whatever. And then when I read it, it said, a day in the life of Puck You, day 1. And I can't remember if the year was 1999 or 1998, but, you know, it was long I was like 11, 10 or 11 at the time. So, and he had written on the other side, A Day in the Life of Puck You, Day 2, but we never recorded Day 2. Well, yes, I have directed a play. I failed horribly, and it was with the same director that I had / teacher in high school, and I remember like the term before I had done it was 3 classes at Live Theater Workshop and 2 or 3 at school, and it seemed like all of them had their shows at the same time. I remember doing 2 shows on the same day and then one the next day, and it was just ridiculous. So anyway, so then the next term in school, I decided, I wasn't going to really act, that I was kind of burned out on it, though I was still taking classes at Live Theater. So, my teacher was like, well, would you want to write something and direct it? And I was like, faux show. And although I didn't say faux show, I was just like, yeah. I was shocked that he asked me. We were doing short plays that term, and every single one that they had picked was a comedy. So he was like, well, you need to write a tragedy to throw in there. I think part of the plan was he wanted to put it on last, which, have everyone laugh all night long. And then once they get to that last play, throw in the freaking tragedy where people are like, go home, back where they should be, because they're back at life level. So I wrote it, and it took me 2 days. It took me 1 day to write it, and then I showed him it, and the class read it, and he said, you can make it a little longer. So then I wrote more to it. So it took me 2 days to write it. And basically the premise was the main character was he recently got out of the family business, which was a mafia business, and he was now trying to make a living. He had a car repairman guy, and a mechanic, there you go. And basically what happened was, there's a big secret in the beginning of the show, where it leads you to believe that the main character, Tony, his wife, Gloria, and Tony's best friend, Jackie, are having an affair. And Tony doesn't know about it. Then later on, the pieces start to come together, and Tony starts to get the pieces together. But like good writer, the fans are one step ahead of Tony. So the fans know, when Tony figures it out that they're having an affair, the fans already know the real thing, which is that Gloria has recently been treated for a brain tumor, a cancerous brain tumor, and is likely to die. And she is afraid to tell him because she knows it'll just devastate him. But Tony, he just thinks that cheating, and then there's this big climax where she tells him, "I'm fucking dying, Tony." Although, if I were to rewrite it, which I'm planning to, I would add swear words. There wasn't any because it was for school. And you know, the cool thing about it, this play was, you know, it was so strong that I'm pretty sure everyone, even myself, and I wrote the motherfucker, was in tears when the people were on stage performing it. And like I was in tears. And like when I went home, I was like, you know, that's powerful. That's theater. When something you write has that kind of impact on yourself when you see it on stage, you know, it's remarkable. So basically what happened was my drama teacher got fired for reasons that I shouldn't have to explain. Which I guess if we have another interview, I will explain it just because. And another teacher took over. And basically when it came around the time to decide whether we were doing a showcase or not, she deemed that my work of art, my pride and joy, my love, which I never came up with a good name for it. I named it One Crazy Week, even though it probably took place in the matter of more than just a week. Was the only one that was ready to get put on. And, you know, there was a vote, and my class, you know, the cast decided, no, let's not do it. Devastated me to the point where I'm pretty sure I still have traces of, you know, script writing block in me right now to this day because of it. Slaughtered Hypocrisy is probably the most popular band I've been in. We have 3 records out. We have 5 hits. You know, 2 out of 3 of those albums have gone triple platinum. The other one is on its way. It just came out. It's double platinum, and it's been 2 weeks since it was released. You know, things are just going great with the band. You know, the chemistry of the band is awesome, and you know, it's, what else can you do, right? Rock the Lamppost. Yeah, it's a great show. You know, season 1 ended, and so funny, and it has a storyline. Like, it's kind of like a sitcom, except that it has a continuous story every episode, and you know, it just cracks me up. Like, the creator, Velm, will he'll tell me, he'll call me up and be like, hey, well, you know, next episode, you're gonna get a car or whatever, you know, and I'm like, cool, whatever, you know. He doesn't really tell much about it, and then you get the script, and it's not just I get a car, it's that I rob a guy, you know, and then I steal his car, and I go to like this paint shop, I get it repainted, and I get a new license plate, and I'm like, this is like Grand Theft Auto shit, you know, and you know, that happens, and then there's some big things that are gonna happen in the 2nd season, which I'm like, I can't even believe this is happening. It's just wild, you know, and everyone loves the show. We got JTT to come out of retirement to do the show, and he's having a blast, and he's a great guy. You know, expect to see an even crazier season this coming season. It was just that, we did a movie together, Against the Rain. When we met, and, it was at a premiere for some movie, I don't even remember. All I remember was she was there, and, we started talking, and, we clicked. So we got together, and we were actually together a lot longer than people think. Like, the picture of us that everyone has seen now, where she's wearing the glasses and I'm kind of looking dumb at the camera. That was taken probably 5 or 6 months after we actually got together. So people were pretty much really out of the loop. And it's kind of funny because that picture, that was like probably about 1 or 2 months before we started to film Against the Rain, which is the movie, it's coming out soon. It's in theaters right now. And that, on the set, that's when shit started to change, Everyone always says, oh yeah, do a movie together, it's gonna be good. But it never is. So, that's that.